All right. So, okay. So yesterday we were discussing about you know calculations, and I think Vinayak, you were not part of yesterday's sessions. I think you both are. Akash, yesterday you were there in this class, or
Yes, 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 yes,
okay?
sir. I was there.
Okay, perfect. So I will just recap this because yesterday only I started this table calculations, and I believe Vinayak, you were not there, so I'll just give you a recap so that you can able to catch up like the context which I'm talking about. So this is a brand new topic, and this is the most important things in Tableau. So we have discussed, cover all the visualizations, everything. Now we are talking about calculations. So the calculation is very important. Using this calculations, why do we need calculation? Basically, we need calculations to create some custom field. When I say custom field, that means custom dimensions or custom measures depending upon what we need for the analysis that you can create.
Sir, you share your screen, sir.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen. One second, hold on.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
Yes,
thank
yes.
you.
Now it's
Yeah.
visible, sir.
Okay, so like I said, calculated field. So we are talking about calculation in Tableau. So what is the calculated field? See, calculated field, using this, you can create a new field, okay, brand new field. And when I say field, that means either you can create a dimension or you can create a measures depending upon your, analysis requirement. So when you're doing analysis, often you will not have all the fields ready-made available in your data pane. But using the existing fields like existing dimensions or measure, we can create something new. What is that something new? For example, here I didn't have the cost here. Let's say let me delete this. This is a custom field which I created. So let me delete that. So from the data, I have only sales information and the profit information. That is I'm loading from the raw data, the raw source data. I have only profit information, sales information, but I do not have cost information. But logically I understand sales cost is nothing but sales minus profit, right? Because if I am selling something for the, let's say, 100 rupees, and I made 30 rupees as my profit, then obviously 70 would be my actual cost which I have actually spent for purchasing the product, and then I have sold it somebody else for 100 and I made 30 rupees as my profit. So I have profit information, I have sales information, so I can subtract sales minus profit and I will get the cost. So that logic which I am doing, like sales minus profit, that particular logic I have to define somewhere, and that we are calling as a calculated field. So this is the calculated field. How do we get this calculated field? We get it by going to analysis tab and just choosing create calculated field. Another way to get this calculated field is like here also you can click, you just follow my cursor, you can click here also and you can get this create calculated field. So either way you will get the same window, and then you can define like what do you want to do, and then you can write it like sales. The moment you'll start typing your field name, your field started appearing, and you can hit the tab and you'll get it. Sales minus profit. I can choose from here profit, and that's it. And when it is perfectly fine, there is no error, then I'll get the message the calculation is valid, and that's it. And when I hit apply OK, I'll get the field here. Okay, you can see the equal symbol. Equal symbol is nothing but it tells this is the calculated field. When there is no equal symbols before that hash, or before that the dimensions name, the symbol name, that means this is the original field. And wherever you will see the equal symbol, if you pay a close attention, then you can you know you can understand this is the calculate field. And to view the calculate field, you can right click, you can select the edit, and then you can see the calculation how it has been done. Okay, however, when you are on the original field, like this original field, if you do right click, you will not get the edit options because this is not a calculated one. This is the original field coming from the data source itself. So here you will not have edit options, but if I'll right click on the calculated field, I'll get the edit option so that I can edit the formula. I can if I need, I can change the logic. So these are the things, right? So this we discussed yesterday, and I'm just giving you a recap so that you can understand. Okay, so moving on, I'm just going to take some couple of more calculated field examples to just show you like we can how we can do some more calculations. Well, before that, I can also give you an idea. So here, this small item that we have right here, as you can see, if I click here, it expanded, and here I can get all the types of functions which available in Tableau. So we have like functions like number, string, type conversions, logical, aggregate, user, table calculations, special. All these are like my function type, and which has like, you know, which is like I can use for the different purpose. And on the right hand side, on the right edge, you can see this area. This is an showing the examples of the functions. For example, ABS is the first function which is showing the giving illustrations for ABS function, and how this works. Like ABS, inside the parenthesis I supply the numbers, and what it does, it tells like it returns the absolute value of the given number. And examples also it's showing you ABS minus 7. If you do, then you will get the result as a 7. That means ABS, what it does, even if you supply a positive or negative number, it will give you absolute value. That is called, in short, it's called ABS. It's nothing but absolute value. You are getting an absolute value, ignoring the sign, ignoring the negative sign. You will get only the numbers 7. Okay, only positive numbers. Likewise, if you want to see, if you select this, then you get this illustrations for ACOS functions. Likewise, if you want to understand if any functions like likewise average AVG, so what average does, so you can read it out. Like what it does, it returns the average of all values in the expressions. Average can be used with numeric fields only. Null values are ignored. Example, average if you do, and profit is, let's say profit is a field, then what it does, it just sum all the profit, individual profit numbers, and divide by the total number of how many numbers of profits are there in the data point, and you will get the average, right? As you know, like normal mathematics, how do you get the average? Same thing that happens here. So this is the explanation that you can see on this here, and you can choose any function. You can see how this function works. Looking by the examples, you can easily understand this. Okay. However, I'm just going to take some few of the, few of the formula, and I'm just going to take few of the examples to make you understand. So for likewise, there is a date function. So there are so many dates that we have. Okay, date add, date if, dated if, dated name, date pass, date par, date run c, etc. So let me give you some couple of examples right here, and I will show you how this date function actually works. Okay, so for example, let's say I have to create, let's say, here, let me, okay, so I have a order date field here, okay, order date field right here, and if I bring it on the top, I'll be getting the default, I'll be getting the hierarchy of the date field, and it has like everything, year, so first let me create a view, and then I will talk about this, what it does. So let me bring the products here. Okay, and let me get the sales value here. Okay, so I'm getting this sales value for all my products across different time period. Now the date, order date has created as a hierarchy here. So the beauty of this hierarchy is like, if I want from year, I want to go down to quarter, I can just click the plus. Okay, Now I gone into I came down to my quarterly numbers. So the number got splitted into different quarter of each corresponding year. You can see right here. Okay. Likewise, if I want to go further down, so I can again do a plus symbol. Now I gone to the level of granularity gone into monthly level. So now I'm inside the quarter, inside each of this quarter, inside the year, and then inside the year I have the quarters, and then inside the quarters I have all the individual months. Okay, still I can go down. I can go to the week, and still, uh, okay, I think this is the day label. Okay, so you can see like this is now day label I have come. On the column also you can see now this got splitted from year to quarter, month, and day. Okay. Um yeah. Likewise, it has been splitted, but then somehow the formatting doesn't come as per my requirement. So I am going to use a calculated field where I'm just going to transform them nicely. So for that purpose, I'm going to take some calculated field. So let's see how I'm going to do that using the calculated field. Well, before that, I can also show you one more statement, like we have like if statement. So see, if I do if statement, you can see that this is a statement expression. It has like if expressions, then the true value. If the expressions becomes true, then true value, and then false. Okay, so let me give you before I go to the talk about the date function, before that I'm going to take example of some if functions. Okay, and for that purpose I'm going to take a new view. So let's okay. So this is my cells of each of my product. Okay. Now, as you know, we have something like returned also. So I can just bring it here to see how many of my well, I do not do that on the filter, rather than I can bring in on the color, so that this split. So I can see how many product was returned. Yes means the product was returned, and the null means product was not returned. Customer has used this product. As you can see in my data, I have a return field also. So many of the sir in e-commerce business, like customer can return the product also if they do not like it, or somehow there are some reasons where they do not like to retain the product, they can return back to the company. So often some products get returned back to the company. So if I bring the return on the color, so that each bar split into two part, return yes means return, and null means like there is successful, the customer has used the product. So as you can see, using this I can get this idea. Okay. um, okay, now if I have to, or maybe one more. So this is one analysis I can do. One more item I want to do, I want to figure out how much of my sales were profitable, because like there are there are some sales which has like loss also. So maybe let me create one calculator field to show you whether all of my how many sales were making losses. So I'm just going to check how much of sales where I was incurring loss. I was not able to make profit, though I have made the sales, but I was making some losses. Profitable question mark. So profitable or not. So I'm going to use the if statement. So you can see the moment I write if, the examples appears here. What it does, it tests a series of expression returning the then value for the first true value. So this is a statement, okay? This is not a function, rather this is the statement, and this is called if statement. So what it does, evaluate your logic. So what I'm going to write, I'm going to write like profit is my field. And like I explained to you, whenever you bring a field, then it's show into orange color, and whenever you write a function it show into blue color. So I'm just checking my profit. If my profit is greater than 0, that means I'm making some profit. Okay, I'm not making any loss. If my profit is greater than 0, that means I'm making a profit. Then I'm going to label this as profitable. Okay, else, when I say else, that means this condition will not be true. That means profit will not be greater than 0. If whenever there is a profit not equal
Only
to
one
0,
condition will be true. Only one condition will be true, no, sir?
exactly, at a time only one condition will be true and one condition will be false. Very right.
Yeah.
See, so I have written, see, in this condition what happened. Okay, so this is called if statement. What all component we have in if statement? We have if, we have then, we have else, we have end. Okay, so this is the constructions of this statement. Now, after if, we define our logic. After if, we define our logic. So what I'm going to test, I'm going to test whether my profit is greater than 0 or not. So this is a kind of a testing of my uh, field. So whenever this condition is true, then is my part of my statement. Then when this will true, then this first will execute. Then profitable will become my output. Okay, the moment this is not true, this statement is not true, then this will not execute. This will not execute. Else condition will execute. Else means nothing otherwise. So okay, so if this is true, then give me this, otherwise give me this. Got it? So at a time only one output will come out from this statement. Either I will be getting profitable, or if profitable is not coming, then I will be getting non-profitable. Obviously, if something is not profitable, that means it will be non-profit. If something is not profitable, that means definitely it will be non-profitable, right? It is loss making. Understood? So this is a
Yes,
normal
sir.
if statement. If a statement, whenever you write if, after if you define your logic, and then you write then, and whatever you want to label this as your true part, after else whatever you define as your false part, and that's it. So that is my you know profitable condition, and that I can bring it here. So I can see how much sales. Okay, so this much sales, 293,000 sales were profitable, 36,000 of sales which I was doing were making loss. Okay. Okay, let me do some more if conditions. I'm going to write some more if conditions. Okay, reason, I'm going to type test if I have something called reason. Okay, I have four reason, right? So if reason, I want to calculate only for east. If reason is east, okay, and or maybe then cells, okay. So basically what it is doing, basically whether even if I do not do sales sum also, then also it will fine. So okay, this is like, okay, even if I do not see what it is, what this is a very simple if statement. So what I'm saying, hey, if reason is east, then only give me the cells, otherwise don't give me any value. So let me just go to another sheet and let me create some some view here, and I'm bringing the reason where it is reason. Okay. So as you know, there are four reasons. Okay. Okay. So the moment I write okay, I have got this reason here. See here, if I bring that on the text, you can see only east I will be getting number only for the east. See here, I'm not getting number for anything other than east. Why is that so? Because what I have written if reason is east, that means if reason is east, whenever there is a east in the data, if this part become true, then only give me then only you give me sales value. Otherwise, otherwise condition I have not defined. That in that case, otherwise condition will become blank. So otherwise all other part I am getting as a blank. Let's say if I write here if is reason is equal to is, then give me cell. Else, what do? You just give me 0. Then now you see other part will become 0. See, understood? So that is how you
Yes,
can
sir.
define your if condition. So if condition is something where you just write a logical statement where you are testing some conditions. Okay, you are testing some conditions, and for testing condition you write if statement, and after if you write your conditions, and then you write then, and if your condition is true, then what you want to return. What do you want to return? In this case I want to return the sales value itself. As you can see, this is the orange color, so basically this is my field itself, numeric field. So that will automatically aggregate for all the numbers. Okay. And and if it is not erased, then I am just returning 0 for everything else. Okay. Now instead of getting my field, maybe I can, what I can say, I can call it as a uh, let's say any numeric. This is called writing a text. This is my text output, this is my text output, this is my number output. That's the reason you can see the calculation contains error. So this is also I can bring it like a. Okay, now you see, now for east I will get output okay. For everything else I'll be get not okay. Well, I have to bring it again because this is showing as a sum, and now it has become a text field. Earlier it was a numeric field. Now it is a text field. So yeah, you can see here. Now this has become text field. So you can see like how it turned out. It turned out to be a okay, not okay sort of things. Okay. Now I will remove the text field. I'm just getting my numeric field itself. Okay. So this also I have to else condition. Otherwise I'm just getting 0. So now you see here reason where it is reason. Now this is ABC. ABC earlier the okay not okay is ABC because ABC is nothing but the text field. Since I put the output as a text, so now it became the text field. Now again I have turned back to the numbers. Cells field is numeric field. It's a measure, and 0 is also a numeric field. So when I do moment I do that, you will see this will first thing this will throw an error because this is the text field, and now since my output become number, see that output reason now it's showing hash. Okay. So what I have to do, I have to remove it and I have to bring it back. Okay. And this is basically gone into dimension. I'll convert to continuous. maybe I have to do some aggregations. Okay, and now if you want to search that, so there is a something called here. Okay, so this is coming here. Now you can see this is coming perfectly fine. I'm getting that's I sometime when this not do aggregation, then you can define sum here, and then this will problem will go away. Okay, so that is
If you
how.
want, if you want for three regions and one we don't want, one region we don't want, then how to give, sir?
Okay,
It will
so
come
in
under
that, yes, in that there is a something called, okay, so if statement you understand. Now we have something called logical operator. Okay, so using that you can achieve that. For example, so let me show you all the operators, logical operator, logical. Okay, in logical you see your and, else, and, or, case, or, there are so many, not, there are so many logical operator we have. Okay, so when you say like you want to get east and central, for example, so let's say I am going to write if reason is equal to east and reason is equal to central. Okay, now I'm going to test these two conditions. When these two will be true, then give me this cells value. Otherwise, give me zero. So moment I do that, see what happened. Everything becomes zero. Okay, perfect. And why that is happening? Why that is happening? The reason being, in one, see, this is going and as okay. So let me also tell you one thing. Whenever any formula execute, it execute at a row level. For each single row, it goes and it will execute. If I come to data source and I show you this formula, I show you the output, then you'll understand, maybe you understand better. Reason. Hmm. Okay, so wait a second, let me. So in this case, what is happening is like for each single reason, it's trying to check is it should be east and it should be central. It both conditions should meet. When the both conditions are true, then only you will get the cells. Otherwise, you will get the zero. So,
yes, sir.
however, but what is happening? See, it is not at all possible that at a time both can be east and central. See, either it can be central or it can be east. Only one value at a time it's true, because I have taken reason, okay, reason as a field, and now since I'm checking both should be true at a time, which is not possible in my data. I have for each
Instead
row,
of one, you can use R, sir.
yes, if I use R, then it will be true. Then I will get the values back. So see, if conditions when I use, that means both condition has to be true to get the value. But when I use R, then either of one condition will be true and I will get the value. So look at here, I will get both the values. Okay, I'll
Yes,
get
sir.
both the values. Now, if I say, okay, I'm not going to check reason twice. What I'm going to check, if reason is equal to east and uh, category is equal to for nature. Okay, okay, then you
Okay.
see, so let me bring that category. Okay, now you see. when I do like this, you see what happened. Okay, you are getting reason is equal to east and category is equal to furniture. If this both conditions satisfied, only I'm getting these numbers. If
Yes.
if both conditions are not satisfied, then I will be not getting answer. If I do use here or, then I'll be getting. Okay, so either of these conditions satisfied, even if a reason become east or category become furniture, either of one satisfied, then also I'll be getting my sales number. So what happened here? I'll be getting furniture number as well as I'll be getting all every for each of the reason I will be getting the furniture numbers. Okay, see here.
Yes.
See, I'm getting furniture, all furniture number. Okay, as well
Office
as
supply. Oh, okay. East. Inside East, everything has come.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. See, for east also I'm getting all because the east here is east, right? So here it is east. So for all east I'm getting number and for all furniture I'm getting numbers, right? You see here. For all furniture I'm getting number. Wherever there is a furniture I'm getting number. And for all east I'm getting number because reason is equal to. That is the difference between and or. So when you write or, that means if even if one condition become true, you will get all output. And when
Yes,
you
sir.
write and, then both has to be true at a time. It has to be east and it at the same time it has to be furniture to get the output as a sales. Otherwise, it will give me the false statement. When for the false I have written 0. So see, I'll be getting only one as a as a true value. All others become my false where I have 0. Got it? So that is the difference of and or. So you learn about the logical operator and or, and you learn about the how to construct the if statement. Within the if statement, we can write and an or logical operator. Okay, uh, now back to this one. Here I'm going to define some more, um, formula. And for that, I'm going to use something called date field this time. So I'm going to create my date. And why do I need that? I need that because I wanted to create some custom, you know, good first thing like good looking good looking structured data on my dashboard. Second thing, I want to have a better control over switching between year, month, quarter. Okay, unlike this. So here I have like day, which apparently I don't want into my dashboard. I'm more concerned with year, quarter, and month. Only these three. I'm not concerned with day or a week. So those additional things I have in this hierarchy, which apparently I don't want. Apart from that, the looks and feels are also not coming appropriately. So there are two requirement basis. Because of that, I'm going to create a custom date field, and I'm going to use calculate field to define that. Okay. So I'm just going to use as an example here. So I, my date. Okay. I already created my date. Okay. So see, for that, I'm going to use a case statement. So as you know, case statement is nothing but it's also part of the logical operator. When I come to logical, you can see your case. So case is also a statement just like a if statement. So if a statement you saw, case is also we write case and then we write expression and we write if when, and we can keep going evaluating each of these possible scenarios. For example, let's say I'm going to define case. And before that case thing, I'm going to introduce you something called parameters because that I'm going to use inside this formula. So maybe understanding parameter is the important thing before I go and start with the case. Okay, so you can see here there is something called parameters. So in Tableau, we have a things called apart from calculate field, you will also see here we have something called parameter. What is a parameter? So parameter is a global placeholder, okay, and it can hold any values like numbers, date, string, boolean, etc. Okay, so basically you can assume, you can understand parameter is nothing but a placeholder. You know, a placeholder is like a like say your wallet. Wallet is what? Currency holder. Parameter is nothing but a placeholder that it can hold any values. You want to hold any values there, it can hold. So for that reason, we are going to use a parameter. So let us see. To create a parameter is very simple. I I shown you. You click right here, and you will get create calculated field. Underneath, you have a create parameter. Okay, you click here, and you will get this parameter thing. And apart from that, you come to analysis tab, and here also. Okay, so here I have like existing parameter, what parameter I have already created. But to create a parameter, I think this option is the appropriate create parameter. And apart from that, you can also do something like on the existing field, you will have the parameter things. But when you want to create parameter from the existing field, but I don't want that. I'm going to create a parameter here. Okay, now I'm going to define a nice name for meaningful name for my parameter. I'm going to define as a my date. And now here is the things like data type. You can define what kind of value you want to hold in this parameter. Like I said, parameter is a global placeholder. And why I'm saying is a global placeholder, the reason because when you create a parameter, you can access this parameter going to any of the sheets. So let's say I have like 100 sheets in my current workbook, book 2. All my 100 sheets, I can access this my date parameter. And that is the reason I'm calling it a global placeholder. Global placeholder in context of the workbook. Now I have to define what kind of data type, you know, my parameter will hold. Since I'm going to talk about, okay, so I'm going to take it as a string, and I'll give you the reason why I'm going to take as a string. And I'm going to define as a list. Okay, here what I'm going to say, hey, I want mm, month, and I'm going to call it as a monthly. See, this is a string, so anything I can write. I'll be using this in my calculations. So month, and then what I want, quarter. So what if I want to y- display something like this, I can display. Otherwise, whatever I will write, it will come as it is. But I want to call it as a yearly, then I can define it yearly. So this part, display part will be not matter to calculations. Only the value part will be matter to my calculations. Okay, so likewise, I can create a parameter. I'll be also talking about this parameter in detail into later part of the session, where I'll be giving you all what is the purpose of all, what is the purpose of range, okay, and some other use cases of this parameter. But for now, I just wanted to use it, so I just give you some overview, some introduction about it. So parameter is a global placeholder, and likewise I can create some list of values inside my parameter, and I click hit OK. So now you see that my date parameter has been created, and I can show parameter so that user can interact with the parameter. The moment I click show parameter, okay, now this is available here. When I drop down, I can get the monthly, quarterly, and yearly. But at this moment, nothing will happen. Even if I select anything, nothing will happen, because parameter in itself has no meaning unless you use this in your calculated field. Okay, so parameter as it by itself has no meaning unless you use in a calculated field. So there I have not used anywhere, so it is not impacting on my view. Now see, I'm going to use in my calculation. So I had my date here, and let me call it as a calculations. Okay. Now let me also introduce something called logical operator case. So case, you see, case is just like your if statement. So when I'm going to write case, moment I write CA, now it came here. So case, after case, you have to define a field, a parameter, anything which you are going to consider for the case. So I have defined my date. This is my parameter. Okay. So parameters my date. So in my parameter my date, what all elements I have. Okay. I'm going to talk about each element one by one. When, as you know, I have monthly, quarterly, and yearly. So month, when month, then what? Then I have to write then. When first value and then. That is the that is how we write. And then I am going to define what I'm going to do. I'm going to define like what I want as an output. That output part now I'm going to write. Okay. Now I'm going to write my output part. So I'm going to write my output part like okay. Okay, so I'm going to write my output part. See, before that I can explain this to you how I want my output. I want my output, let's say Jan 20, Feb 20, March 20. Like that I want all my, when I select monthly, when I select monthly from the parameter, I want all my data to should become like this. Something like that. Okay. When I select quarterly, I want my data to come like this. Q1 20, Q2 20, Q3 20, Q4 20. Something like that. Okay. When I select yearly, I want my data to come something like that. Let's say I want for quarterly, I want like, let's say if I have select quarterly, then I want FY19 for the complete year, one single field. Okay, so that is the format I want in my output, and for that reason I'm creating this calculated field. Okay, this kind of format I'm looking for. Okay, so after month, when I say, hey, case my parameter, and in that parameter I have like three values: month, quarterly, and yearly. So first values is month. So when I have selected month, then what you need to do, you need to give me this output, and that output I'm going to write right now. And how I'm going to write? Using some functions which available in my Tableau itself. So date function, as you can see, dated if, date name, date parse, date part, date currency, etc. There are so many functions. Using these functions, I can going to write some logic, and that will be my output. And before that, I need to understand what is my objective for a month. I want this kind of format. Okay, so first three character from the month hyphen two character from the year value, and the right side two values from the year. Okay, so usually, as you know, like full month is January 2020. In short, I'll want to get like this. So let's see. So what I'm going to say, when I say I want this um, month name, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use date name. Date name is something like is a functions, as you can see, date name. It returns a part of given date as a string. Okay, it will return part of given date as a string where the part is defined by the date part. If the start of example, look at the example. Date name, when you say month and you define the date, then it will give you the name of the month as a string. So output, if your date name month and you define the date, then the output is April, April, and April is a string value, right? And that is what I want in this format, because as you see here, I want Jan Fab in this format. Now later on we'll see how I'm getting three letters from the left hand side. So I am going to write month, give me name of the month, date name function which will output as a name of the month, and then date field itself. So order date is my what? Date field, original date field coming from the data, raw data. You can see here order date, which is my original date field. On this original date field, I'm trying to return the name of the month. Okay, so let me uh, come to a new sheet. Moment, if you want to check this, what output will come out from this one. So what you can do, you can select this part and you can put it on this row self or column self. You can see the output. You can see the output Jan, Feb, March, you know, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Like that, this will be the output from this part. Okay. So when month, whenever you select month, okay, from your parameter, this part will give you the name of the month. Okay. All right. So far, so good. Now, I don't want the whole name of the month. I don't want the whole name of month. What I want only the first three characters. So I have something like here left functions. Left function, what it does, left, you have to use the string and then you have to define number of characters. So already this is my string. This is giving me a string value. On this string value, I am going to define, hey, just give me three characters from here. So whatever output I am getting as a month name, I am saying only give me three letters from the left hand side, because at the left functions, that is was the characteristic of a left function. You can see the examples. Calculator, comma 4. So only CALC, the four letter you will be getting from the left hand side. Starting from the left hand side, CALC, these are the four characters it will retrieve from the calculator. So likewise, whatever name will come here as the output, on that name, it will retrieve only the first three letters. So JAN, FEB, MAR, AP, APR, MAY, like the likewise it will, give me output. If you want to see, if you want to see how it will works, so what I can do, I can select the entire things and I can bring it here. Then you can see now I'm getting only three letters. Okay, only three letters from the month. Are you getting me or not? Is it easy to understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Let me know if you find anything confusing. You can point out me. I will, try to explain it. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
that is what left function will do. Okay, and left function rest retrieving three letters from the left hand side. Okay, now, so so far so good. We have got this month. Okay, Jan, Feb, March, etc. The three characters lie in this order. Now, what is want? We want a hyphen. So what I can do? I can do a plus n plus and then hyphen. So this is nothing but this will be concatenate the hyphen along with whatever output I am getting. and then again I'll do a plus. Now, and mind it, this all are strings. Okay, this all are strings. So with the strings, so this is not a numeric field or date field as such for now. So with the string, I can concatenate another string. So if I, Tableau, where if you do A and plus B, then output will become AB. That is the property of a Tableau. Tableau, you can concatenate strings using the plus. Okay, so that is what I am doing it. So you can see the moment I do this much. Let me remove this for now. I'll do this. So if I do this much, if I execute this, you can see after each of the month hyphen I'm getting. Okay, now after that, what I want year values 20, 20 everywhere want. And 20 is my year value. So what I can do, I can take a year functions. Year function, if I say year functions, you can see year function what it will return. If I write year and the date, order date, then it will only give me output as the only the year value. Okay, only the year value I'll be getting. So if I say order ID, order date, so I'll be getting only my year value. So for example, you can see if I do output of this, only all the year values I'm getting. Okay, but then I'm getting all the four characters here, all the four characters here, which I don't want apparently. What I want only the last two letters, 16, 17, 18, 19. Likewise, I want. So for that, what I can do, like I have used left function, I can use a right function here. Right function is also there, which will extract two digits from the right hand side. So this will be my, it's a string. Okay, but mind it, year function will not convert into a string. Year function will convert into integers. Okay, so year functions, output of year function is a integers, not a string. But then the requirement is a string. So what I have to do, I have to convert this into a string. So there is a function called str. So using the str, if I put all this inside this bracket, parenthesis, now this whole things will convert into a string because I have mentioned a str function. So the output of year will become now a string. So that will not be a problem. And now in the entire output, whatever I'm getting as a year value, I'm going to say, hey, just give me two characters from the right hand side. Okay. Now, if you see that, if I do like this, you can see I'm getting only two characters from the right hand side, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, perfect. So this is for the first month, and I have to define end also. So case is, so calculation is valid now. So what is the case statement, how it works? So after case, you have to define which field or which parameters you are going to consider. Okay, so basically most of the time we use case with the parameter. So whatever values that we have in the parameter, so for each, so with the parameter when I have used, so for the each value of parameter, one by one I will evaluate the statement. So for this, for the first, for the month, when month, so whenever the user will select the month, then this output will, then this is the output which I will get. Okay, what about quarter? What if user select quarter? So there is no quarter statement I have mentioned as of now. So nothing will happen. It will become blank now. So see here, I'll just remove it here, and what I'll do apply this, and my date will appear somewhere. Yeah, my date appear. Now I'll bring that my date here. Okay, so you see here, quarter I am checking here. So there is no value of quarter as such I have defined. So that's the reason I'm getting null. Okay, but the moment I turn this to monthly, now you see, I'm getting each of the monthly values. Can you see this? I'm getting all the monthly values. Okay, and probably this is a string, so output of my date is a string. So because this is being sorted into a string order, so what I should do, I should sort this into day order. So what I should do, I should use not data source, rather I should use a field. And which field? I'm going to use order date, order date. Okay, and I will take minimum, starting with the minimum. Okay, so now you see the date has been sorted in a right order. So Jan, Feb, March, April, and June, July, and now exactly they are coming into format which I wanted to have here. So Jan, Feb, March, and so on. So in the same format, now it is coming. Okay. Now, second statement, I'm going to write when quarter. Okay. And mind it, why I have not used quarterly, though here quarterly, because this is just for the display. Originally, originally my date, if you see my date, I have what values I have mentioned, this I have to use inside my calculations, not the display as. Display is only for the purpose of display. Okay, what do you want to display outside? I could have taken 1, 2, 3, 4 also like that, and it doesn't matter. I could have, instead of month, I could have taken 1. If 1, then this. If 2, then this. Then 3, then this. Anything I
Half
could have.
yearly also, no, sir.
Sorry, come
Half
again.
yearly also, no, sir. 6 months. Half yearly, half
Yeah,
yearly.
yeah, yeah. Half
Six
yearly, I
months
can.
once.
That also I can define like wise. I am just taking examples for now. Okay. If you want half yearly, I can also show you
Yes.
half yearly. Okay. So for the quarter, okay. So what I want for the quarter, I want Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Okay. Now again with the date name, and date name is, well, date name I can return month, quarter, anything. So I'm going to return the quarter with order date. Okay. See what happened when you have a, or when you have a quarter, uh, you know, quarter name. So quarter name will not return quarter one, quarter two. It will not return like that. It will return the like 1, 2, 3, 4. See here. So when I do here, so I'm getting only 1, 2, 3, 4. Because Tableau will, that's how Tableau recognizes. Either 1 means quarter 1, 2 means quarter 2, 3 means quarter 3, 4 means quarter 4. So I will be getting output as only 1, 2, 3, 4, depending upon which quarter it is. But then I don't want that format. What format I am looking for? Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, because that is more relevant. So what I can do, so this is my string, and 1, 2, 3, 4 will not be a number. That will be like a string, because date name has a property, it convert that into a string. So easily I can concatenate Q, and I have to bring that Q into parenthesis inside a bracket. Okay, and then I'm concatenating with 1. So Q1, Q2, and now after, so now this one will be like more meaningful. Now if I do like this, you see Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 I'm getting. Perfect. Now I want some more thing. I want the year value also. Okay. And after that I want a hyphen. Okay. So again I will concatenate a hyphen also. And after that I want year value. Year, and right. I want to get, see, so maybe same thing what I have done here, same thing I want to do. So maybe I can just copy this and I can use the same thing. Okay, because here also I'm just trying to get the 2 digits from the year value to write characters from the year value. So that will be like 16, 17, 18, 19. So if the entire thing, if I take, you see, I'm getting for the each of this. Q1 16, Q1 17, Q1 18, Q1 19, and so on and so forth. Okay, for the each Q1 and their corresponding year I'm getting, right, and that is how I want basically. So now I'm getting as per my requirement. Now, now I am going to write for the full year, and what value I have mentioned as a full year. Okay, year is the one. So, and this is the case sensitive. So mind it, what value you have defined, same thing you have to use in your calculations. Even if you have used like 1 2 3 4, so that is okay. You can do like that also. If you have used mentioned it as a string year, then you have to match the same case, like small case, upper case, lower case, whatever case that you have mentioned, the same way you have to use into calculation also. And now, in the case of year, in the case when year, then how do I want to show the output? I want to show the output like this: FY19, FY20, something like that. So first thing, FY is the one that I want. FY hyphen is something that I want, and then plus, and then the same the right value. This is the name of the two digits from the year. So same thing I want. It's very simple. So if I take this whole thing, you can see how it comes. You can see FY16, FY17, FY18, FY19. Like that, I was looking for. Okay. Now coming back to this. Now here from here, if I switch to quarter, you see, now aggregation is automatically will happen for the quarter. See, the number is also changing, right? And even if I take the year, now I'm getting only four columns for the each of this year. Okay. So nice, right? It's so nice, so easy. Rather than having that plus symbol, now I am providing an drop down button where user can, okay, user, what numbers you want to get. You want monthly, select monthly. You want to get quarterly, you can select quarterly. You want to get yearly, you can select yearly. Okay, so yeah, it's so
Yes.
and date name. Let's see what all things I have date name. I think half yearly is not there in date name, but let me try.
Okay.
Half yearly, I doubt. First thing, everything is a small letter. Okay, half name is not there. Like
Yes, sir.
argument half year to date name must specify date part. Okay, it's not there. So you can Google about it also. Mm, date name and date part. Okay, date name function in Tableau when I do date functions, when I say date function, which has, so you can see like all the you can see here date name here. Okay, so return date part of date as a string. So I feel like they do not have half yearly as such.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so usually people do not want half yearly. However, there are some workaround that we can get this half yearly things also. That's not a big deal. So you saw that how beautifully that things can be possible using some calculate field. Using calculate field, we can do lots of wonderful, beautiful things. Okay, so that is the whole purpose of your uh,
Yes,
calculate field.
yes,
So
sir.
okay, now few more examples of let's see what all things we have into picture. Okay, now I'm going to take a few more calculated field. So this is your normal table calculation. So your basic calculation, that is how you go and you can just open a window, okay, calculated window, and you can write whatever the logic you need to supply in your dashboard, and you can define your logic and you can write a calculate field. You can use it for your visualization, your analysis purpose. Okay, but there are some ready-made calculations available in Tableau itself, and that is what we call it as a table calculation. Table calculation is something that you don't need to create, but it is automatically already there. You just have to use it. Okay. I will take LOD in a separate session. So I'm not going to talk about LODs now because this is a lengthy topic. I want next weekend to dedicate it only for the LODs, and we'll be taking a lot of examples. In this session, I'm going to talk about only the table calculation part. Okay, so table calculation is something where you are actually, you know, going to utilize the Tableau built-in functions. Okay, and that built-in function itself will provide you lots of amazing calculations, which probably could have been really nightmare things for you to write whole logics. For examples, let us see. I have something like uh, let's say I have something like subcategory here, and I have something like I want to get a running total of my sales value. So what is running total? Running total is nothing but I want to understand what is the total values, what is the total values of my each of the sales. So probably let's see. Okay, so this is my each of the individual sales value. However, if I want to get my running total, so like a Pareto chart, if you remember, like we did Pareto chart. So I'm just taking a duplicate of the same measures. I can just write to duplicate and I get the same thing and I'll bring it right here again. So, and this second copy, the copy value, what I'll do, I'll transform that. I transform that into, a line chart rather. So you can see this is the diminishing, right? This is the high value, low value, and this is the low value. This is the descending order. So basically what I have into the first graph, the bar chart, and starting from the highest bar and going towards the lowest bar. Same thing being reflected into line chart also. So started with the high values where I have a high value. This is my no, my line chart is on the top, and then line chart is gradually decreasing basis on the length of the bar and going down and down and down. Likewise, I'm going down and down and down. Okay, so this is the bar chart and line chart. However, um, first thing, let me just bring it on the dual axis so that when I do dual axis, so the x-axis for both these measures, sales and sales copy, will be common. So in that case, both will be together instead of being separate view. Now will come together. So okay, the moment I do that, the first one become into a circle. I'll turn back again into bar chart. Okay, so you see this. This is nicely. This is like reflecting how my bar actually. going down. Well, this is no, both are same thing, so there is no point keeping two graph for the same view, but there is a purpose of, there is a special purpose why I bring that cells copy and I turn this into a line chart. Now I don't want this to show me individual numbers. I'm talking about line, not bar. Okay, let the bar show individual cells for each of the products, cells, shares, storage, table, binary, so on and so forth. Okay, so bar is showing each of my individual product sales value. I don't want my line to show the same values because my line and bar are showing the same values. There is no difference. So since I bring that line, again, so there is a purpose for it. I don't want it to show the individual sales value. Rather than I want it to show cumulative sales value. When I say cumulative sales value, that means running total sales value. Okay, running total sales value. So for that, I have a ready-made option. So sales copy, I came here and quick table calculation. You see that I was talking about table calculations. So this table calculation is, like I said, it's ready-made calculation available. You just right click, you come to quick table calculations and you have so many things. Running total, difference, percentage of total, rank, percentile, moving average. I'll talk about each of them one after another. Okay, so running total I'm talking about. So I can just choose running total, and the moment I choose the running total, see the graph which were diminishing earlier, now it is like going into upward direction. And this particular chart which and we call it as a Pareto chart. Okay, now what is this line chart actually gives you the information? This line chart is a running total, and what does it mean? Running total, it means at any point of this line, whenever you are at any point of this line, so for example I am at this storage, so at this point it is you know showing you the aggregated sales value including phone, chairs and storage, all three together. Okay, so here I have 330,000, here I have 328,000, and here I have 223,000. So that means if I add 330 and 328, so almost like 660, close to 660, and then 223. So 660 and 200, 860 and 860, 883 or something like that. So if you see that running total, it will be 883 or something like that. See 882, like I said, 883 or 882. Okay. So 882 is nothing but summation of phone cells, chair cells, storage cells. And if you come to the tables, now this is like 1089,000, which is a summation of phone cells, chair cells, storage cells, table cells. Now this is here at this label, it is binder. So it is like a summation of phone cells, chair cells, storage cells, table cells, and binder cells. And these are summations including machine, accessories, and so on and so forth. So here you'll see the 100 per. This is like a total sales. So I have 17 products. All 17 products are giving me value of 2,297,000 as a sales. That is called running sales. Okay. So I wanted to get the running sales. So calculating a running sales has a huge process. You can see how I'm getting individually running sales. Okay. There is a Windows functions and there is so many things. But then I'm not doing anything. I'm just using a right click and I'm just choosing that quick table calculation, choosing what I want, running total. But in fact, if you want to see like how this has been calculated in the background, you double click it and you will get this. It will expand and will show you like how it has been done using running sum functions, and then out of running sum again sum function and then cells copy I'm using, and that's how I'm getting running sum. Okay, well, one more distinguished thing that you can differentiate between normal calculated field and running total is like the triangle on this top. The triangle you see along with your measures name, the triangle, can you see this? This triangle also tells you this is a quick table calculations. That means Tableau has done this calculation. I have not, and I have only convert into quick table, and I am using this. This is my field, and this is my table calculation. Okay, and yeah, now I'm just let me just take this as an example here. Well, I'm just going to take a duplicate copy of it. Maybe use let me use this a very apparent things here. So let's see, I'm just going to take in a very raw format, you know. This is my individual sales. Okay, now I want my copy also to be appear here, and I take into uh, table table view. Okay, so this is my sales and this is also my sales. I have taken the copy of it. So basically, okay, so one, I am just going to take it as an individual as it is the original numbers. Second, I'm going to play with the quick table calculation. So you can make a difference. You can understand how actually. So now since I'm using the raw number as it is, so that you can actually get a feel of how the quick table things are happening. So when I choose the running total, you see what happened. So starting now, you can see this is the running total, running sum of cells. So starting the first value. Okay, the first value, this first value will be same. Now, when you come to the second value, the second item, the appliance sales is 107, but running sum is what? 274,912. And what does it mean? It means if you add the first value and second value, this and this together, if you add this two value, you will get this 274,912. Okay. Now for art, you have like accessories 167, 107, 532 and 27,119. If you add all these three together, this value, this value, this value, you will get this value. Okay, that is what your running sum is means. Okay, you want to exercise this into Excel. So let's say I have just copied this three value. See, if I add this all three, this is my sum. Okay, accessories, appliance, art. If I add all these three, 302,000 is my cells. See, 302031. Okay, so that means running sum, wherever you are running sum, it's actually summing all previous items. Okay, all previous item it's summing. So for example, here, this is summing all previous item right from start to here up to here. It's summing all previous item and giving me this value. So that is your running. That is also we call it the cumulative values. Cumulative or running is the same thing. Okay, many people call it a cumulative, many people call it a running same, but don't get confused, both we are talking the same thing. So that is number one. Number two, so this running sum is clear. Can you give
Yes,
me
sir.
yes? Okay, perfect. Okay, now moving to the second item. Now per difference, and the reason I have taken the absolute number just to give you the explain you the you know visual things difference. When I am on the difference here, so you can see uh, okay, so I have individual sales value and then I have the difference. Okay, so what this difference actually does? Okay, so look at this here, pay a close attention. Now, you see the first one is the blank, and the reason why it is blank, So this is my original field. This is my calculated table calculated. Okay, this is my table calculated. I am only, this is a demonstration to show you how the table calculations works. How exactly this gives you the value. If this has not been available, then getting this value, quick table is not available, then difference value, how you would have done? You'd have done like, okay, so you would have done something like this. 107, 107, sorry, 532. This is your one value, second value, and the first value 167,380. 167,380. Okay, and you have to write of calculations where you are doing this minus this, and then what is the value you are getting? 5984. That is what you are getting here, right? 59, negative 59,848, negative 59,848, right? You are getting the same value, right?
Yes, sir.
That is what,
Yes, sir.
that is what is your difference. So any point of difference, basically this is the difference between the current value minus previous value. Okay, so this 80,000, negative 80,000, how you are getting? So if you subtract 27 minus 27,000 minus 107,000, if you do like that, so let's say, let me do like that, 27,119 minus 107,532. If I do this minus this guy, see what I'm getting? 80,000, negative 80,000, 40413, right? Same value I'm getting. So what I meant to say, any point of time, like this point, so this value, how you're getting this value? You are getting this value minus this value. So that means any point of time you are getting current value minus previous value, and that's how you are getting this. So this is called difference. Okay. So when you want to get the difference, when you are choosing difference, the difference at any point of time, it will, give you difference from the previous point only. Okay, that you have to keep in mind. Whenever you want to show the difference from the previous point, you can choose the difference just like this. You don't have to write a whole calculations into your Tableau field. You don't have to write something like that. You can directly, you can choose the difference and you can get these values just like that. Okay, so this is the easiest possible thing that Tableau has provided you in form of table calculation. Using that, you can do this wonderful calculations. Okay, now, okay, so this is the difference in terms of absolute value, in terms of like numbers. But what if I want to say, can you tell me the difference in terms of percentage? Well, option is available. You can choose the percentage difference. When I do that, now see, this numbers is now showing in terms of percentage. Okay, let me do some formatting here. I'll be using uh, one decimal point is enough for me. So I can see the first is like blank. The reason, because there is no value to compare, no value to subtract at this point of time. So obviously this will be blank. But the second here, I have the value, previous value and this value. You can see the previous value and this value was actually, the value was 59,000. It was coming. But I have to tell, can you tell me what is the 59,000 from the, so this minus this. Okay, what is the 59,000 from the previous value? So when I have to say what is the 59,000, what, how much it is from the previous value, and that is 167, 167. So I have to convert into percentage. See here, 35.8. Let me take a decimal value. So I'm getting 35.8. So basically, what does it mean? What does it mean? It means that, it means that, let me show you once again. So you can see like 107,532. I'm taking 107,532. My current value, previous value is 167,380. This is my previous value. This is the current value, previous value. Why I say current value? Because here I am calculating. So the place where I am calculating will be my current value. The place which is previous is my previous value. So the 167 is my previous value. 107532 is my current value. So please pay your close attention. And now when I have to see the difference between this point and this point in terms of percentage, that means see this first one was also the same thing. Here I was getting difference. Okay, but here what I'm saying difference in percentage. Okay, same thing. But now to get into percentage, very simple. What I have to do? Current value minus previous value dividing by previous value. Because why I dividing by previous value? Because I want to see from the previous value from the with respect to the previous value how much change has happened in terms of percentage. When I do that, oh, it's giving 0 because I have to convert into percentage. When I do into percentage, it say, hey, from the previous value, from the previous value, actually we has gone down 30%, 35% negative direction we have gone down. See, earlier it was 167,000. Now we are just 1 lakhs, right? It was like 1,67,000. Now we are just at 1 lakh. So that means there is some 1,07,000. So there is some value deterioration has happened, right? The value deterioration is negative, right? That means from previous we have decreased the value, and that is the reason we have negative, and that is why now this is like a absolute difference. I mean, this is like number difference, and this is like a percentage difference. So this actually, if I have to say, I can say this negative 59,000 is 35.8% of this value. I mean, 59,000 is 36%, 35% of this value. So from the previous value, 35% gone down, and then we have come reached to this level. Okay, so that is how we are calculating this percentage difference. But in reality, I mean, we don't have to do all these calculations like we did this calculation, this minus this dividing by this. If we have to manually define this calculations, you are going to also write function like this. But Tableau has provided you quick table calculations where you can just choose that percentage difference, and this whole thing you can get quickly in a second. The moment you select quick table calculations and percentage difference, you will get this value. You don't have to write the whole formula as such. Okay, clear? Can you
Yes,
give me?
sir.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the percentage of total. Okay, so the percentage of total is something, uh, you know, something different. Um, Maybe I can just give you an idea about percentage total. Uh, let's say, let me show you this pie chart reason. Okay. See here, as you can see, there are four reasons. Okay. In our data, there are four reasons: east, west, north, south. Each region has some sales value. Okay. There are four reasons, and each region has some sales value. What if I say, what if I say, can you give me how much actually this east, west, north, south are contributing? This is the whole numbers. I am not interested into whole number. Can you tell me what is the percentage of total? So when I say how much East has a contribution out of total, so I'm talking about percentage in total, right? So I can choose the percentage of total. The moment I do percent of total, see, I don't have to actually manually do the whole calculation. So West is 31.58% total sales from the total sales. Okay, what is the total sales? Total sales is like um, 2,200 something, right? We know that. From the total sales, West is has to 31.58%, which is the highest among all, followed by East, which has 29.55% contributing, followed by Central, which has 21.82 percentage, and the least is South, which has just 17.05 percentage contributions in the whole business. So now my whole business, as you know, 100% out of 100%, which reasons how much they are contributing out of total, and that is what we call as a percentage of total. So when I have to calculate something like this, I have ready-made options available here. I can go quickly and I can choose percentage of total and I can get these numbers. Okay, it's so easy to do into uh, in Tableau. I don't have to actually manually go and do calculations. I can easily choose quick table and I can get this value. That is called percentage of total.
Sir, shall we end this session, sir? Because
Yeah,
data
sure.
some
Yep. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to end this session right now, right here, and I will.
next week, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.